France losing its grip on Africa. A powerful movement is sweeping the continent, demanding change and challenging French influence. Some are even saying it could lead to Macron's resignation. In this video, we'll explore the rising tensions, the driving forces behind this block everything movement, and what it means for the future of Africa and its relationship with France. Get ready to dive deep into a pivotal moment in history.
You're welcome to the Pulse of Africa community. I hope you're doing great today. If you're joining us for the first time, don't hesitate to like, share, and subscribe to stay informed and connected to Africa's most important news reports. Your engagements will help this video to reach more people. Thank you very much.
Welcome back. Today we're diving deep into a situation that's shaking things up, particularly between Africa and France, specifically centered around calls for President Macron's resignation and the powerful Block Everything movement. First things first, let's understand this Block Everything movement. It's not just a catchy name, it's a powerful strategy fueled by widespread frustration and a desire for genuine economic and political independence from France's lingering influence. Think of it as a form of economic and political resistance, a way for citizens to exert pressure on both their own governments and, crucially, on France. The core idea is to disrupt the systems that perpetuate what many see as neo-colonial practices. We're talking about blocking trade routes that favor French businesses, disrupting infrastructure projects funded by French entities on terms seen as exploitative, and even boycotting French products and services. It's a multi-pronged approach, targeting different sectors to maximize impact. For example, we've seen instances in various West African countries where local activists have physically blocked roads leading to French-owned mining sites, demanding fairer profit-sharing agreements and better environmental protection. We've also witnessed online campaigns encouraging people to stop buying French goods like certain brands of cheese or clothing, hitting French companies directly in their pockets. The Block Everything movement is a response to that perceived injustice. It's a way for people to say, enough is enough, we need to rewrite the rules of this game. It's also important to understand that this movement isn't necessarily about outright hostility toward French people. It's fundamentally about challenging the power dynamics and economic structures that many Africans believe are hindering their progress and sovereignty. The frustration isn't directed at the individual French citizen. It's directed at the policies and agreements that many see as perpetuating a system of dependency. And it's this deeply rooted frustration that's fueling the calls for President Macron's resignation, as he is often seen as the figurehead representing and upholding these problematic power structures. The anger, bubbling for years, finally reached boiling point. Macron's perceived arrogance and continued insistence on France's role in Africa's economic and political affairs lit the fuse. But this wasn't just about Macron, it was about a system, a legacy of colonialism that refused to truly die. Remember Thomas Sankara, the revolutionary leader of Burkina Faso? He dared to challenge the established order, advocating for self-reliance and Pan-African unity. He was assassinated in 1987, a chilling event that many believe was orchestrated by forces threatened by his vision. For decades, the echoes of Sankara's dream, a truly independent and unified Africa, remained dormant, flickering in the hearts of a few. Now those embers were catching fire. The Block Everything movement, as it became known, wasn't a singular entity. To break free from the chains of neo-colonialism, social media became their primary weapon. Images of protests in Dakar, Abidjan, and even Paris flooded the internet, showcasing the sheer scale and passion of the movement. The movement's strategy was multifaceted. On the ground, activists organized peaceful protests, boycotts of French goods and services, and educational campaigns to raise awareness about France's historical and ongoing role in exploiting African resources. Online, they launched sophisticated disinformation campaigns to counter pro-France narratives and expose alleged corruption by French companies and officials operating in Africa. They expertly leveraged meme culture and viral videos to engage younger generations, many of whom were increasingly disillusioned with the promises of globalization and Western development models. One particularly impactful moment involved the leak of a confidential document, allegedly detailing a secret agreement between the French government and several African leaders to maintain French control over strategic resources. While the authenticity of the document was debated, its impact was undeniable. It further fueled the narrative of French manipulation and solidified public perception of a system rigged against African interests. But the Block Everything movement didn't just focus on what they were against. They also championed a positive vision of a self-reliant and unified Africa. They promoted intra-African trade, investment in local industries, and the development of homegrown solutions to address the continent's challenges. They drew inspiration from historical figures like Sankara and Kwame Nkrumah, advocating for a renewed sense of Pan-Africanism that transcended national borders and ethnic divisions. The pressure on Macron, both domestically and internationally, was mounting. The French economy, already struggling with inflation and energy costs, took a hit as African countries began to diversify their trading partners and reduce their reliance on French businesses. Moving forward, building a truly independent Africa, the energy and momentum that have fueled these movements represent more than just frustration with France. It signifies a deep-seated desire for genuine self-determination. But protests and public pressure, while incredibly vital, are only the first step. We need to amplify African voices, support African journalists, filmmakers, artists, and intellectuals, and tell our own stories. This means creating platforms that showcase the richness and diversity of African cultures, celebrate African achievements, and challenge negative stereotypes. The power to define ourselves rests in our own hands. By controlling our narrative, we can inspire future generations of Africans to believe in their potential and strive for a brighter future, free from the shadows of colonial influence. This is a long game, a marathon, not a sprint. But with consistent effort, strategic planning, and unwavering belief in ourselves, Africa can truly win. So, as you've seen, the pressure is mounting. The African movement, unified and powerful, is demanding change, and Macron's position is becoming increasingly untenable. This is a pivotal moment, and your voice matters. If you believe in a future where Africa takes control of its destiny and colonial powers are held accountable, smash that like button to show your support. Share your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. What do you think needs to happen next? And most importantly, subscribe to stay updated on this developing story and future analyses. We need to amplify this message and ensure the world is watching. Let's keep the pressure on. That's all for now. The winds of change are blowing strong. Stay informed, stay involved, and keep believing in the power of the people. Peace.